Our brief was to create a 2-minute opening to either a horror or a thriller film.
We had to follow various media conventions in order to create a realistic piece and promote continuity. These included continuity editing and the 180-degree rule. We believe we followed these effectively, as the narrative in general is clear. However, there are some points that people found unclear in our audience research. We believe this is due to us not filming as many shots as we needed to fill our narrative.
We experimented with different camera techniques, movement, angle and framing in order to keep our piece interesting and vary the cinematography. We used a variety of shots such as canted angles, long shots, pans and extreme close-ups.
Some of the shots we believe were the most effective included the frame shot in the puddle, the tracking zoom shot from behind the girl and the worm's eye shot of the victim running, with the focus in the foreground and the boy running into focus. We believe these shots were the most effective due to our use of cinematography.
Overall, we feel like we were very successful in experimenting with new camera techniques. We used shots that we had not used before. However, we are very happy with how they came out and we feel that our cinematography is one of the strongest aspects of our opening.
We decided to make a horror film over a thriller film as we believed it would be easy to follow the generic conventions of the genre and make a more realistic opening.
We decided to choose the subgenre of supernatural as we were interested in filming in an external location, or more specifically, a woodland. We'd also studied several films that fitted the supernatural genre and thought they were very effective. The external location of a woodland is also very conventional with the supernatural genre, so it would allow us to use this location.
We're also interested in including the iconic character of a young girl in a white dress, as we believe that it's a very effective character for the horror genre. This character is most prevalent in the supernatural subgenre.
We also encountered a few restrictions. The most significant in affecting our filming would have to be the conditions we had to film in. We wanted to film in evening light, however as we filmed in the winter, this gave us a very short period of time to film in. So we had to be very efficient with our filming, but consequently, looking back, we believe some of our shots may have been rushed.
Also, due to the rain and other weather conditions, the filming surface was often muddy and slippery, meaning we had to take extra precautions when filming in order to not damage the equipment or hurt ourselves. We all wore suitable footwear, however this had a negative impact on mise en scène as it affected our costume.
We also used Harvey's Nikon D5200 camera as he had more experience using it than the school cameras, so we believed we could be more creative with our shots and vary our cinematography.
Obviously for a big project such as this one, we had to do extensive planning in order to create the most efficient filming process and effective product.
We did not have that much previous filming experience as a group. Harvey had done some previous filming outside of school, and me and Ed had done a task earlier on in the year, but we hadn't done anything directly related to the task at the beginning of the year.
This is why we found the Wilderness Woods filming day and preliminary task particularly helpful. We had never really filmed in this style before and never worked practically as a group together, so it was very useful to get some experience in these areas before our actual practical task.
We also found these tasks helped as it gave us ideas of what aspects of filming we would thought we'd like to include in our final piece, and what aspects did not work well and we could not use again and exclude from our final piece. For example, from our Wilderness Wood tasks, we liked the narrative arc of victims being stalked by antagonists and finally being caught, as believed it was very effective at building up tension and creating visceral pleasure.
When comparing our final piece to our preliminary task and Wilderness Woods task, you can see the progress we have made both technically and creatively.
We believe all aspects of our production have improved: camera, sound, editing and mise en scène.
Looking back at our preliminary task, our cinematography is much less varied in our final piece. We used very little different shot angles, movements and framing. However, in our final piece, we used a wide variety of shots, including canted angles, extreme close-ups and pans.
Regarding sound, we did not include any non-diegetic sounds in our preliminary task and relied solely on the diegetic sound to create effect. However, in our final piece, we believe we used non-diegetic sound effects very efficiently, and we feel that our piece would be significantly weaker if they weren't included.
We also improved in terms of editing. In our preliminary task, no editing techniques were really used, and the cutting rate did not particularly change. However, in our final piece, we used many different editing techniques to great effect. These included intercutting, jump cuts, and changes in the cutting rate. We particularly like the scene where the boys are walking and jump cuts were mixed with non-diegetic sound to create tension.
In our final piece, we feel like we used aspects of mise-en-scène much more effectively than our preliminary task. For example, we did not think about the location on our preliminary task, filming within school grounds. We also filmed in our school uniform, which did not match the narrative of the footage. Whereas in our final piece, we filmed in a woodland location, which is very effective for horror genre, and we also used the iconic costume of a girl in a white dress.
Combining all of these aspects together, we believe we created a very strong narrative. The narrative is very easy to follow and is effective at building up tension throughout.
We filmed on 3 occasions, 2 main shoots and a shoot to film any shots that we feel were needed to film the narrative. We usually filmed on Sunday as it was the only weekend day where we were available.
Our editing took place in school. It was the only place we had access to Adobe Premiere Elements. We used lesson time and also free periods at lunchtime in order to create to get the most editing time possible and improve our product.
Overall, we believe we made significant improvements from our preliminary task to our final piece in all aspects.
We believe the main strengths of our preliminary task were carried over and improved on for our final piece, and the weaknesses were improved on or left out of our final piece.
The strengths included good cinematography, including a wide range of shots. We believe our favourite shot was the puddle shot.
We also believed our mise-en-scène was particularly effective, more specifically our woodland location and the iconic costume/character combination of a girl in a white dress.
In terms of weaknesses, we believe we could have filmed more shots in order to fulfill our narrative and make it easier to follow for the audience.
But overall, we believe we are very happy with our final production and thoroughly enjoyed the whole process.